Good morning everyone. This is Vidya Haswavi, lecturer in English. So today I'm talking about the fourth SEM English, that is the one act drama Debit and Credit, written by John Augustus Strindberg. So due to lockdown, we have previous of lockdown we have done half of the drama. Today I like to summarize the whole drama that it can be helpful for your examinations. So, dear students, let me, before starting this drama, summary of the drama, let me talk about a one act play. I like to remind you what is exactly the one act play. One act play is the having a single stage with a single background with a single costumes of the characters, and only they have one entry and one exit, and there won't be having any second act, third act or scene one as we find in some other dramas. Example, Shakespearean dramas have lot of acts scenes like this. So you have to imagine that it is a single stage and the single characters with the same costume, same background they will be playing. And let me tell you this, it's a very tough to write one act dramas compared to having multiple acts and scenes. So here we can remember that John Augustin Lindbergh is very pioneer in this field. So before that, let me start with the John Augustus Lindbergh's background or a biography. Was a Swedish writer, playwright, and painter. He is arguably the most influential and famous of all Scandinavian author. That is, he is from Sweden. Strindberg is known as one of the father of modern dramas. His work falls into two major literary movements, that is naturalism and expressionism. He is widely read in Sweden and internationally to this day. So, let me come with a summary of the drama by name Debit and Credit. So, before starting the summary, let me make you very clear. Debit, and you know the literal meaning of debit and credit. Here our hero, that is the protagonist, goes with a taking a money and not lending a money. That is, he takes a credit but is not ready to debit the money. Why like this? Why is it a human tendency like this, or any other characters we find in this hero? This is what John Augustus Strindberg tries to talk to us. See, he says that, see, before I start this, let me talk, that is, the story is like this. Before analyzing any drama, let me summarize the thing. Before going out of Africa, that means here the hero is Mr. Axel, who had a big aim to become to get a doctorate. So he goes on research for Africa. So here, before going Africa, who are his helpers, who are his supporters? That is the story. He borrows money. He has borrowed money from a finance firm, making his brother, Mr. Tour, his brother, Ture. Mr. Tour, his brother, as a obligent, or what we say, he was very punctual. His brother was very much happy that his brother is going to Africa for research and is going to get a good name, and he is going to serve for his nation. Mr. Tour, his brother, as a obligation, as the loan amount is not repaid, the bank people are asking Mr. and Mrs. Tour to repay at the earliest. They are actually workers in somebody's estate and do not have money. That is, Mr. Axel's brother, Mr. Tour, and his wife, Mrs. Tour, they were working in some estate as a farmers, and they had become a pauper because they had pledged their house for the money to that they can help his brother, that is Mr. Axel, to go to Africa. They are actually workers in somebody's estate and do not have money. They are waiting for Dr. Axel's return. He has come now, and hence they are all ready to meet him to talk about the money. Others have also their reasons to meet him. There are other people also waiting for Mr. Axel. Everyone comes to know that he has returned from Africa, and those who are how they are related with him is the point now. Why they want to meet Mr. Axel is the story now. Now, Mr. Axel has come and taken a room in a palatial lodge, very costly lodge. For Mr. and Mrs. Tour, everything in that room appears costly, precious, and beautiful. Entering the room, they take about Mr. Axel, his education, and his abilities. They both discuss. Mr. and Mrs. Tour talks about highly about Mr. Axel, his education, and his abilities. They also touch the main aspect of their visit, that is, the loan borrowed by Mr. Axel, and how the bank, how the, uh, how the bank people are torturing them for loan. Mr. Toor excuses his brother for the delay, but Mrs. Toor is angry for the delay because she is worried that the sheriff, that is a judicial officer, that means bank officers, have come to serve for orders. Already they got orders that they have to pay on Mr. Axel, but he wouldn't serve the notice. He couldn't serve the notice. If the loan is not paid, the property would be auctioned. So Mr. Toor, Mrs. Toor also hints at their poverty level that Mr. Axel should understand. Mrs. Toor also remembers an old incident of the past in which they were humiliated. That is, but Mr. Toor, supporting his brother Mr. Axel, thinks that the order may help them in some way in the future. Standing in the midst of the room, Mr. Toor hopes that he might get a good meal and a cup of costly wine. If at if at all his brother Mr. Axel minds, then that means he expects that his brother Mr. Axel is going to treat them with a good food and a wine. So Mr. Axel and a gentleman with the government enter, that means officials or officers enters. He calls upon Mr. Axel to be at the party at the exact time. That means government is wishing him, congratulating him, and the government has arranged a party for him because he has returned from Africa after he's completed his research. So now, Africa. Then Mr. Axel and Mr. Toor and his wife converse together. They talk each other. They discuss certain things. Mr. Axel makes enquiries about his father, who is angry with his son, who has gone to Africa. That means his father is not happy. Borrowing the money and going for an expedition to Africa is not a happy thing. So his father rejected him not to go. But Axel has moved on with the support of others. So after that, Mr. Toor hints at the loan. Then Mr. Axel tells him that it is a problem that is vexing him. Vexing means getting angry regarding the money. He would arrange for the repayment at the earliest. Mr. Toor says that as he couldn't renew the loan as there were none to support him. Mr. Axel in turn says that his financial position is also very bad and hence cannot pay the money or the loan amount borrowed. See, you need to understand here, he got so much support from his brother Mr. Toor. Now he is he is not going to even help him a single paisa for him, that he has to pay the money for the bank and he has to get back his house. See, in the beginning itself, we need to understand the character of Mr. Axel. You need to go on sketching the character of Mr. Axel. Here I feel that Mr. Axel is least bothered about his brother's concern and he is very much boosted for his fame. Also, he cannot recommend a job, and even Mr. Toor asked for any help from his brother, at least he has to get a job somewhere. But he couldn't recommend a job for Mr. and Mrs. Toor. Anyway, at that moment, his only assurance is that he would help Mr. and Mrs. Toor only when his financial position improves. He assures that Mr. and Mrs. 2 that when his financial improvements with the, then he is going to return their money. So now we need to think what kind of a situation for Mr. and Mrs. 2 now, how they can take back their home like this. See, in this condition any human beings will be deteriorated or what will become weak. But they have done for Mr. Axel, but Axel is not at all bothered about their care and affection or concern. Mr. and Mrs. Toor hint at their a sick child and need to go out. He wants his brother and sister-in-law not to depend on him for the loan amount. See, this is how he tries to escape from the situation. So we can observe here Mr. Axel is really selfish. So Mr. Axel's friend, that is, now in the next part we find that as the drama moves to Musat is very good friend and a former teacher of Mr. Axel, that is Mr. Dr. Lindgren. So he was formerly a teacher. Enters, they have a talk. Dr. Lindgren accuses Mr. Axel of not helping him in any way in his research activity. That means even Dr. Lindgren wanted to have a research and he wanted to have some money and he wanted to have some surety. But here Mr. Axel rejects even. Previously, Lindgren has helped Mr. Axel a lot to have an expedition to Africa by helping him. How he helped him, another next you will come to know. Accuses Mr. Axel of not helping him in any way in his research activity. If in any case he, that is Mr. Axel, has any credit, then he would naturally help him. In the past also, Dr. Lindgren had helped Mr. Axel in many ways, including the printing of his thesis. So this is how Lindgren had helped Mr. Axel. He has helped in printing of Axel's thesis. But Lindgren accuses Dr. Axel of coming in the way and thinking away the king's subsidy for the expedition of Africa. Actually, he got a help from Dr. Lindgren, but now Axel is thinking about a subsidy from the expedition of, that is from the king's subsidy. Dr. Axel boasts that his visit to Africa is really a great service to his fatherland. So you may get confused here. Fatherland, in a sense, as we use a motherland, some Swedish, some Europeans and Americans countries, they respect as father a lot and their status of father is more than mother. So they use the word fatherland. So for our nation we use motherland. So like this. So here what I can say, Mr. Axel boasts that his visit to Africa is really a great service to his fatherland. See, he himself boasts here that he has done some good service to his fatherland by going for Africa or doing a research and brought a good service to the fatherland. His research would help people of his country in many ways. After that, they talk about their financial matters. Dr. Lindgren calls Mr. Axel an ungrateful person. UNGRATEFUL, ungrateful person ಅಂದರೆ ಋಣ ಇಲ್ಲದವನು ಅಂತ. Dr. Lindgren, who was here a few minutes ago, returns. He gets angry and he goes back. Again he returns to the room there. He calls both Mary and Cecilia as cockroaches. So now you may not have the idea of who is Mary and Cecilia. I'll explain later. Who appear when body parts of fish are seen. So here Dr. Lindgren compares Mary and Cecilia as cockroaches because where there is a egg of the fish or the fish, cockroaches move there. So like this, here fish is Mr. Axel and Mary and Cecilia are the girlfriends of Mary is a old lover of Dr. Axel. Now they have broken up. Now he has switched on to Cecilia and how Lindgren interfere with this relationship. Here you need to observe that Mr. Axel has no good value, has not have any good relationship with anybody. Even he is a flirt another, we will come to know here. So he criticizes both the girls for their liking of Mr. Axel. That means Dr. Lindgren accuses both of them. Doctor has come to ask Mr. Axel whether he would sign a paper promising to be his surety. But Mr. Axel hesitates. So this is the reason why Dr. Lindgren had come. He wanted some surety, that he wanted to take a loan, but here Mr. Axel refuses. See, you need to observe here. Mr. Axel got help from Mr. Dr. Lindgren. Now it is his turn to help him. But here we find that Mr. Axel is not at all bothered. He is a he is a scapegoat. He is just a scapegoat. So doctor teases Mr. Axel and tells him that he would be straightforward in dealing with many matters. Taking the paper given by Lindgren, Dr. Axel goes inside telling that he has to write some letters. So now here, in this part, Mary talks of going away with Mr. Axel. Cecilia feels hurt. She tells that she should be sick if she stays there for long. She feels that Mr. Axel might deceive her. So, why means Mary has asked her to return back. Mary and Dr. Axel were in a relationship for they were lovers for 3 years. Now, Mr. Axel has changed his mind and he shifted to Cecilia's, where Cecilia is already engaged with a gentleman, and they are in the way to marry. But here, Mr. Axel washes the brain of Mrs. That is Miss Cecilia, and he wants to marry her. Maybe because she is very rich and she was an influential person. So now see, looking at this, Mary feels very bad and she starts quarreling with Cecilia, and even she demands Mr. Axel to return her love letters, what she has written for him for these 3 years. And here Axel rejects and takes the papers of what Lindgren had given, and he enters and goes into the room and he closes it. So now we are looking at all this, Cecilia feels sick and she feels that if she going to stay there, she will become a mad. She feels that Mr. Axel might deceive her, even she thinks that. So like this it goes on. So they wait for some moment and Mr. Axel enters into the room. They wait that he has to come out. Again they want to make it very clear what he may take the decision. So now here we find that in the last part we find that there is a surprise at the end. What the surprise is that Mr. and Mrs. Tour enters hoping to meet Mr. Axel. Dr. Lindgren plans to take them inside the other room. He comes back immediately and tells that others waiting there and that he saw a bottle and 2 letters inside, and then Mr. Axel has disappeared, 1 letter and disappeared. So after a long time he won't come out. Again Lindgren enters there, he checks another room. As he opens the door, he finds there is no Mr. Axel, he has escaped from there. And only the thing he find there 2 letters on the table and a bottle which contained a poison, that is potassium cyanide. So now so here Lindgren even he was surprised to have this kind of situation, and he goes to the near to the table where he won't find Mr. Axel over there, and he checks the letters and a bottle. Checking after that, he says that Mr. Axel has disappeared and he has left out with 2 letters. And 1 letter is addressed to Cecilia and the other is addressed to his brother. That is, he has labeled the letter as my brother Tour. The bottles of poison, that is potassium cyanide, is not opened. Dr. Lindgren concludes by saying that Mr. Axel has solved all tangle, that is the toughest situation or complicated affairs. So here we need to understand Mr. Axel is a manipulator. He makes the situation in his hands and he gives the decision. What is that? Means he has returned the engagement ring to Cecilia. It is very clear that he rejected even Cecilia. He left Cecilia and did her favor. That means he gave a freedom to Cecilia that she has to marry to her the fiancé itself. Paid money to Mr. and Mrs. Tour, and not only this, he also returns ring back to Cecilia. Paid my next part is next letter has two. Next letter is that he is going to pay money to Mr. and Mrs. Tour and return the paper to Dr. Lindgren without signing it. So these are the things he does. First part, he returns back the ring and makes Cecilia freedom, and Mary is already rejected. Second part is he manipulates with the situation. Now I'm talking. So he next is that he returned money to Mr. and Mrs. Tour. But third part, he didn't help Dr. Lindgren without signing his papers. So like this, after doing this, Mr. Axel has run away from the scene. Now Dr. Lindgren thinks that he is cheated by Mr. Axel. So here we can understand he is totally in Lindgren situation. Mr. Axel is totally selfish. So he is not ready to help Dr. Lindgren. Maybe that is a human tendency what Augustus Strindberg, that is our dramatist, wants to identify or makes the audience to recognize the human being's characters. So this is how the story ends, students. So we find we need to observe the whole drama. We need to observe the character of the Mr. Axel, how we connects with the people and how he cheats the people. Not only in the money matters, even he cheats in relationships. He cheats Mary, Cecilia, everything. He's a kind of a flirt. He just want to enjoy the woman. So this is how it is brought out. His character is brought out through Dr. Lindgren. It may open through Mr. and True the drama, but it ends with a Dr. Lindgren, who was the main supporter for Master Axel. See, this is how when we help others, naturally we human beings have the same tendency, or what we say, expectation that the help should be helped by them also. But here it is not like that. This is what our dramatist wants to say. So let me come with the analysis, students. The play in this one act play actually based on human situations as conceived and interpreted by Strindberg at a time when he was convinced human beings are essentially selfish. I repeat, human beings are selfish, self-centered creatures. So this is how selfish and self-centered this character we found in Mr. Axel. See, to achieve his things, you misused many people surrounding him. And of course, he helped in a little bit, but not totally. That's what we can understand. So your human character is like this. So he is self-centered and also selfish. This play have been presented successfully in Swedish and other Scandinavian theatres. See now, the situations are surely typical. When we go on analyzing his dramas in depth, we find all his one-act dramas have special qualities. So, like this, he observes that as per his observations, I give a certain points. People's willingness to claim credit for a fellow human being's success, a mother manipulation of her daughter's life, a wife's indifference to her mate except when others obviously van him, denigration of a mate of one's own, purposes, indifference to rationalization of one's sins. See, Mr. Axel never regretted about his sins. He did sins, many sins, but he had no regression. So, emotions and the unnecessary destruction of the fellow human beings, at least partly in the name of religion. At least here, dramatist wants to say that at least as a human being, we need to understand what exactly our religion here in a sense, our duty for a society. When a man understands the duty to our society, naturally can't become a scapegoat like Mr. Axel. He can't be a cheater or what we say, culprit like this. So he cheated Dr. Lindgren and also Cecilia and also Mary in all situation. This is what the dramatist wants to talk here. being in a society, selfish in some extent is not okay, but still that means we need to understand where we are having our selfish, and we have to cut down that. And almost human tendency have a self-centered nature, that also should be cut down. So concluding like this, if you have any doubts, students, you can contact me, you can inquire me, or you have I am it's one suggestion is that after hearing this summary, please go through with the drama. It's a very small drama, you have to go line to line, because it will help for you to identify the annotations. So naturally it helps for the examination point of view. If you are very good in analyzing the annotations, naturally you have understood the drama properly, because annotations also very important, and it carries some 4 marks also. So you have to be thorough in the reading textbook, students. Thank you. Stay home, stay free. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you, one and all.